My name is Jonathan Goforth, and I've been a full-time realtor for 23 years. Today's topic is something I'm really excited about because you're doing an open house and you've got people walking in. How do you turn these potential people that are walking in into clients of yours? That's today's topic. This is a topic that I'm really excited about. So I've been doing this for 23 years, and I have sold, personally, hundreds upon hundreds of homes. I have a team of agents, and they've sold lots and lots of homes also. We all do open houses. Now, something that's important that you understand, do open houses work? Should you be doing them? Because you're going to get responses that are different inside your office. Some people will say, they're a huge waste of time. Don't do open houses. It's not worth it. Other agents in your office will say, yes, you should do open houses. There's a couple secrets to it. First of all, you need to do them consistently. Don't just do one open house and then think, oh, it's a waste of time. I'm not going to do any more. You need to do them consistently, like 3 weekends a month. And I'm going to show you what you do. We're going to go through a lot of information really fast, so you might want to pause it, get a piece of paper, and take some notes really quick. So this is information as to what a lot of other agents do wrong. And one thing I want you to do, think about, if you're a brand new agent, I want you to think about going out this Saturday and Sunday and going to some other open houses. I want you to listen into what those other agents say, how they do it. How do they conduct themselves? What are they offering? What are they giving out as far as information? And go Saturday, go Sunday, check out some of your competition. See what these agents are doing. See what they're doing right, see what they're doing wrong. All of this is a key. It's essential to doing an amazing open house and turning these potential people walking in into clients. So now, your primary responsibility, the reason you're there, is to sell the house you're in. Out of respect to the homeowner of the house you're having open, that is your primary goal, is to sell the house you're in. You want to make it look as good as you can. You want to make it sound as good as you can. You want to build it up. If this is not a particularly nice house, you still think of every positive thing you can to say to everyone coming in, because remember, you never know if you're holding someone else's house open, you never know if the homeowner themselves is walking through the house. And they could also be sending neighbors and friends. So if they're reporting back to the homeowner, always remember your primary job is to sell the house you're in. But let's talk about all the successful things you can do to maximize your time there. The first one is get there early. You'd be amazed how many agents get there 10 minutes late, and there are people there because people are seeing it on all kinds of websites, Realtor.com, Zillow, Redfin. There are hundreds of websites. Everybody else's brokerage website has your open house advertised. So get there early. The other reasons you need to get there early are the directionals. You need to be there early enough to put the directionals up in advance. And you need to do a Facebook video for your self-promotion. But you've got to get there early enough to film it. So get there maybe 15 minutes early after you've already put the open pointers up. So you need to get in the neighborhood probably 30 to 40 minutes early, get all your directionals up, and do a Facebook video. Now, I don't particularly like to do live videos, but you can if you want. I like to do it myself, record it, and then I save it, and then I upload it to Facebook quickly, advertising my open house. Now, for directionals, you need to have as many up as you can put up. So start out at the main entrance. And I typically put 2 open pointers there because people are driving by quickly. I want them to make sure that they see those as they're driving by to get them to turn in. And then at least 1 at each turn, each corner, to get to your open house. So if you're way back in the neighborhood, you might need 8 signs or 10 open pointers. So it's going to take you a little time to put those up. That's kind of the most not fun part of doing the open house. Now, some things you need to have with you. You need to have an MLS sheet printed out, not to just hand out. This is for you because it's got room measurements on it. It should have the taxes. It should have some other details on the MLS sheet and a disclosure. This is not to pass out to the public. This is for you to offer information because it's going to have the dates of the furnace, air, roof, hot water heater. If there's any issues with the house, have they had water come in the basement? Are there any foundation issues? That way you know about the house that you're having open. The MLS sheet will also have the remarks that the listing agent typed in, which could be you. And these are for your information, so you have these and you're very knowledgeable, so you appear as the expert on that house for everyone who walks in. Now, what are you wearing? What are you wearing at your open house? This has become an interesting one. If you go out and check out some other open houses, you're going to be surprised. I like to go for fun just to check out open houses in my neighborhood, in the whole area, because I want to see who my competition is and what they're saying and how much traffic they're getting while I stop by. You should be wearing business casual. Don't wear shorts. Now, the guys, it's a little more restrictive for the guys. You need to be business casual. I would personally not normally wear jeans. I usually wear dress pants and dress shoes. Don't wear tennis shoes at an open house. Remember, you're working. You are at work for an open house, and you're trying to impress the clients enough to capture them, to either sell the house you're in or capture them to show these potential buyers other houses. If you're a woman can get by with a lot of different clothing, so look professional. I went on an open house not too long ago this summer, and I swear she looked like she just came in from the pool. I don't understand what she was wearing, but it wasn't really appropriate to be working an open house. It was interesting, but there's no way she's picking up customers. So for a guy, I wear a shirt like this, and dress pants. I don't wear a tie. I don't wear a jacket. I just go business casual, and I don't overdress and I don't underdress. Now, this is a big one that I have not seen anyone else do at open houses, but as people come in, they're going to ask you questions as you have conversations. And one of the questions could be, how much is that house down the street? We just passed by one. Do you know how much it is? You will come off looking very professional and organized if you know what the other homes are priced at for sale. Now, it's possible the homes they've just passed could be under contract, and you'll know that if you print out the other homes for sale. This is not to pass out, but if you want to pass this out, make sure you staple a business card of yours to the top of this printout so that if they want to see those, they call you. But this is mainly for you to have a knowledgeable conversation with the people walking in about, well, they don't like the house you're having open. They want a walkout basement, and yours does not have a walkout basement. So you look through the list of the other homes for sale and say, well, these other two do have walkout basements. Would you like to see them? Because I can set up showings on those as soon as I'm done with the open house today. I can't tell you how many buyers I have picked up from this one thing alone. And of all the open houses I've ever gone to look at my competition, nobody prints out the other homes. They don't have the slightest clue what's for sale. They don't have the slightest clue what they're priced at. They just don't know. Number 6, Welcome to COVID-19. You need sanitizer and you need masks. Now, depending on where you live in the country, masks may not be required. Where I live, they are. And so you should have them available. And sanitizer you should have available for sure. And if you can get wipes, it would be nice for you to, what I do, to impress the homeowner. And if it's not my listing, then I take a video at the end of my open house and I show that I'm wiping down their door handles and certain, the front door handle for sure, the door handle that goes from the house to the garage, because everybody coming in is going to the garage. Everybody is touching that handle. So I do a video of me just sanitizing certain doorknobs, maybe the bathroom doorknobs, certain handles, if I think people might have used a sink in the bathroom. And I text that video to my sellers, if it's my listing, or I text it to the listing agent, just to impress them that I've left their home as clean or cleaner than when I arrived. And clients love that. I love doing open houses. And so I want to share with you one of the biggest things that I do that helps me make my open houses so successful. I've been doing this 23 years. Like I said in the beginning, I've sold hundreds of houses. I have done hundreds of open houses. Even in the last year, I have personally picked up buyers off of my open houses, and I've sold 2 of my own listings directly from the open houses I had open. Shocking to me, because that's how good open houses can be. Here's a couple things that I do. You need to have 2 flyers. This is what's going to set you apart from all the other open houses. When people come into your open house, they're going to other houses also. You are not the only house open, and you haven't captured the market. They're just driving around checking everything open. So what can you do to capture the interest of these potential clients walking in? 2 flyers. Flyer number 1 is a flyer about the house. Whether you make it on your own or you're printing out an MLS sheet, which you could do that. You know, you go to the format where it's probably a larger picture and the listing agent's info is not included, assuming you're holding somebody else's house open. You want to make a flyer with your name, your phone number, so that they'll call you later because of the open house. That flyer advertises the house. And that flyer will change at each different house you go to. But the other flyer is about you. So you're going to have these sitting out on the island or at the front of the house. The other flyer is going to be something about you. It's kind of like your resume. It's something that you want people to take home with them, but this is just about you. Because if they're not interested in the house you're having open, they're going to throw the house flyer away. But if they were impressed with you, then they might keep the other one. So here's an example of a flyer. It's got a family picture. I was in Forbes magazine in 2019, representing Kansas City as one of the top market leaders in the country. And so it just talks a little bit about that. I was in Forbes magazine again this year in March of 2020. This just kind of shows off the agents on my team. And it just, says, would they like a free price and opinion of their own home? That's one example. You could just make this on your own, print that out at your office. Another thing you could do, depending on the city where you live, I do magnets. This is a baseball magnet, and you can have magnets to pass out. They'll likely want to take this, and hopefully they keep it, put it on the refrigerator. It's about you with your name and phone number. If you don't have a professional team, a football team or a baseball team in your city, then do magnets with the high school teams. Parents would love that. Something else you can do if you want to look a little bit fancier than just a flyer, and a flyer is adequate. I've made these from different online companies. The latest one that I like is this one's through Vistaprint, but I want to talk about these. If you make flyers promoting yourself, which these are great for mailings, here's an older one. You need to be careful when you make these, because pictures, if you're looking for a free image online and you're just searching house images or something, they may not really be free. Those could still be copywritten pictures. For example, this one I made at Vistaprint, and this is a flyer that they've pre-made. And this is a house that they offer on the flyer for free. That's their picture, and so this can be used on anything you make there. These are family pictures. This is a picture that obviously I own. But be careful the pictures that you are marketing with. The other one, this is my house, my personal house. My wife took the picture, and so I own this picture. And so you can do things like this. So just be careful. You don't want to ever get hit up with owing some random company money because you used their picture and weren't supposed to be. That's your second flyer. And so you want people to take both, but especially the flyer about you. So now let's move on to some really good nuts and bolts about how to make this an amazing open house. So everything we've done so far is just to get ready. Now it's time. It's time for people to walk in your open house. Here's what you need to do. Have something to write with. A pen and some paper with you all the time. Always. Because when somebody walks in your open house, the first thing they're going to do is say their names. Hi, I'm so-and-so. And you've got to write it down. Write down their names. That is so important to do this. Because if you're like me, I don't remember their names again. Later on, a conversation, it won't happen with everybody that walks in, but a lot of the people that come to your open houses, you're going to have a conversation with them after they look around. It would be nice if you remembered who they are. So write down their names. Even if they just say, hi, it's Bo and Jill, or it's whoever they are. Write down their names. And because otherwise it's embarrassing later when you have to ask for their names. Now, you want to have a little bit of small talk. Don't make it awkward because they don't want you to be there. They just want to see the house. Whether they're neighbors, whether they're just out curiosity looking for fun on a Saturday or Sunday because they're bored and they love HGTV and they just want to see some houses. Or they're actually really buyers. Nobody wants you there. So just keep it light and friendly, very low key. Let's just ask, what led you here? Because personally, I am curious. I want to know, are they coming just because I have open pointers up, my 10 signs? Or are they stopping by because they saw it on somebody's websites? Maybe they say, could be Keller Williams, could be Remax, could be any kind of different websites. Or it could be Zillow, Realtor.com. I do want to know where they saw my open house advertised. And as they're looking around or as they come back in the kitchen, ask them, what they think about the house. What price range are you really looking for? A lot of times they can't afford the house that you're in. But with a nice, friendly, easygoing conversation, they'll tell you. Maybe your house is $400,000 that you have open. They can really only go as high as $3.25. Ask them if they're pre-approved. You'd be amazed how many people are not, and they can afford more than they think because interest rates are so low. Listen to them. This is something, when you go to other open houses, you'd be amazed how many of the realtors in those houses talk the whole time. You can't get away from them. If you listen to the people who are coming through your open houses, they will share more and more info. Don't be annoying. This is something that is fascinating to me. how many open houses I go in just for fun, and the agents are just annoying. You can't get away from them. They follow people all through the house. Don't follow them for a variety of reasons. Remember, they don't really want you there. They do want to see the house. And if you're in the house distracting them and just talking nonstop while they look around, they're not focusing on the house and you're annoying them. Never go to the basement on an open house with strangers. Never. Don't go down there, because you can maybe place yourself in a situation that you no longer in control of. I personally don't go upstairs with people on an open house. I stay near the very front door. I like to look out at who might be walking up, so I've got an idea that people are walking up and who they might be. I try very hard not to ever let myself become a target. So don't follow them upstairs. Sometimes if they yell at me a question, I'll go halfway up the stairs and I'll answer their question. But I don't follow them around the house. That's just not going to get you any clients. Now, let's talk about how this really works. So if you like this video, please click subscribe and please turn on your notification bell. It's right next to the word subscribe. That way you get notified of my upcoming videos. I've got a couple other videos I'll post below on how to do an amazing open house, because there's other things that you can be doing also. But as people walk in, make sure you offer them sanitizer. They'll likely all take it, and they should, because you don't want them spreading their germs throughout this house for your clients to have to touch. Now, this is what needs to happen during your open houses. You are going to get people. So remember, they're coming in for different reasons. So you need to put yourself in the buyer's shoes the whole time you're there. What would the buyer want? Every buyer who comes into your open house, what is it that they want? And that's how you need to think. Think like the people coming in. Don't think like the agent. Play like you're a buyer. You need to know the area, because they're expecting an agent who's going to help them to know the area. What are the schools like? What elementary does this feed into? Do you know? Do you have kids here? They're going to ask these questions. You need to be interested. Now, I'll tell you this. Let's say you're at an open house for 3 hours. Nobody comes for the first hour. You're sitting there on your phone playing games. You're in the middle of a good game, and in walks a family. I'm amazed how many agents, these real estate agents, sit there at the island and they don't even look up. They're like, hey, and they're still in the middle of playing their game. And I'm like, seriously? Be interested. If somebody walks in, you put down your phone. You're not still checking it. You put it down, put it in your pocket. You want to appear interested, even though you can hear your game buzzing in your pocket, because you need to have a conversation with everyone coming in. You want to ask them questions. What are you looking for? What do you think of this home? And they're going to be giving you answers. So the biggest thing you want to do is listen, and then keep leading the conversation with more questions. Are you looking for a particular high school? You know, does this house fit what you're looking for? You know, this is a 2-story. And they say, well, we really were hoping for a master bedroom on the main floor. Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I've got a list of everything else for sale in the neighborhood, and one of them has the master on the main floor. And here's the details about it. You know, would you want to see that as soon as the open house is done? You want to have small talk. That's having small talk. Now, you want to find things in common. You can talk about where they go to church. Where did they go to high school? Wouldn't it be funny if you actually knew these people from 20 years ago? The more you talk with everyone coming in, you will always find something in common, because you live in the same city. There's going to be a connection somewhere. And once you find that connection through some small talk, they are going to be very inclined to having you become their realtor. The big thing you want is their contact information. That's your goal from this whole open house. Whether you sell the house you're in or you get to work with them as their buyer's agent, get their contact info. So if they want a copy of the disclosure, you're holding it, but you're not going to give it out. That's your details. Say, well, I can't give out this one. Or don't even hold it. Just memorize the information on it, and they'll say, well, do you have a seller's disclosure here? You're like, no, but I'll be glad to email it to you. That's how you get their contact info. That's why you don't want to take a stack of them. Plus, a lot of that is private information. If they're just curious, they shouldn't get that unless they're really thinking about buying that home. That's how you get their contact info. What you want is their email address so you can stay in contact with them. If they would like to be set up on an automated search, you could do that through MLS, or maybe your brokerage has some software package, some kind of app that you can load them into that. But you need their contact info to do that. This is where you need their names and their email address. You might think their email address has their names in it because you forgot who they are, because you forgot to write it down in the very beginning. Their email address probably won't have their names. So get their contact info now. You need their phone number, you need their email address. Now, you might have a sign-in book. A lot of people, they don't want to sign in. They'll just put, I'm working with a realtor. Or they'll make up a name. If they're neighbors, they're probably going to make up a name. They're not going to give you their names. They don't want you to know they were there. They certainly don't want the homeowner to know they were there. They're in there spying. They want to see what this house looks like. So half the time, I don't have the book and make them sign in, but it's available to get their contact info. If they're really interested, then yes. Now, I want their contact info so I can send them the disclosure. I can email them houses that fit what they're actually looking for. And that's how you capture clients and turn them into leads. After this, sanitize the house as you leave, lock it up, take a little video, show proof you did it. People love that. Makes you look very good. And that is how you do a really good, successful open house. If you liked my video, please click subscribe and please turn on your notifications down there next to it. Thank you so much for watching.